Summer rush.
Start topping up now.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. The production sharing agreement that was signed in 2016 between the government of Guyana and ESSO has seen the country ceding control over how much revenue it will receive and over the scope and pace of future developments. These are among the findings of the Institute of Energy Economics and Financial Analysis Director, Tom Sanzillo, who in a recent report noted that the lack of a ring-fencing provision substantially slows the pace of revenue that will flow to Guyana and that there is a need for a corrective action plan that is more equitable, that would serve the interests of both parties in the long run. He noted in his report that the lack of a ring-fencing provision could be considered a legitimate incentive to encourage the contractor to continue exploration efforts even while it drills and produces oil at existing fields. Governments, he noted, typically utilize ring-fencing provisions to prevent oil companies from using losses incurred on one site from sheltering the profits from other, more lucrative investments. And in other news, several Ministry of Agriculture agencies yesterday signed off on a total of $474 million in contracts. The majority of the total sum represents 3 contracts for cash-strapped Gaisuko. The 3 contracts that were signed are for the supply and delivery of 9 long-reach track-type hydraulic excavators, among others. The contracts for the supply and delivery of the machineries are to the tune of $356.5 million and were awarded to Guytrack. The excavators, according to information released by the ministry, are required for the rehabilitation of the drainage and irrigation channels at all estates, including the ones passing through residential communities. It also includes the rebuilding of the surrounding perimeter dam of the Albion estates. And in other news, a local telecommunications and internet service provider, eNetworks Inc., has been given the green light to land and install a fiber optic cable from Suriname to Guyana. This is in addition to receiving permission from the government for the use of additional domestic frequencies. The decision to amend the company's license was made with effect August 12th last. According to the notice published in the official gazette, the license has been amended to grant permission to eNetworks to land, install, and operate a fiber optic submarine cable in accordance with Section 23(9)A of the Telecommunications Act of 2016. The said fiber optic submarine cable will connect Guyana to Suriname for the provision of redundant connectivity to Guyana. And in other news, as a high-level delegation headed by Suriname's President Tandrika Prasad Santokhi is set to arrive in Guyana today for a state visit, President Tirfanali has indicated that some key areas of focus include oil and gas, infrastructure, agriculture, among other critical sectors. President Ali told the press on the sidelines of an event on Monday that President Santokhi's visit is a very important one, as he reminded that Guyana and Suriname have committed to various transformational incentives. Notably, this official visit follows President Ali's visit to the Republic of Suriname in November of 2020, during which the two presidents launched the Guyana-Suriname Strategic Dialogue and Cooperation Platform. And moving on, Guyana as a nation is finally putting locals in place to monitor oil production from the Liza Destiny oil vessel in the Stabroek Block. At least this is according to the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, the National Meteorology Institution, with legislative responsibilities for ensuring the accuracy of weighing and measuring devices in all sectors of the economy. According to GNBS, there are currently 9 inspectors in its oil and gas department, and this number will increase as the oil vessels offshore are added to meet the demand for oil production. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you that a 20-year-old mechanic died yesterday, hours after he crashed the 150cc G8 motorcycle, which he was riding along a road in La Parfait Harmony on the west bank of Demerara. At the time, he was reportedly trying to evade a police patrol. According to a police report, the mechanic Mahendra Diopal of Parvit Harmony lost control when he tried to maneuver some potholes around 23 hours 45 on Sunday night. Police reported that they were conducting a routine patrol in a pickup when they spotted a man riding west along the northern side of the road without a safety helmet. They had reportedly attempted to stop him, but he rode away, causing them to give chase. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
The time has now moved on to 19:06 in Guyana. Coming up next, a short presentation in the oil and gas sector from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lal, followed by the National Outlook with GHK Lal.
Guyana, Senegal President, a man named Macky Sall, signed away 2 gas fields worth billions of US dollars to an Australian, a convicted drug dealer, broke and knows nothing about oil and gas. All this man know about is corruption and bad deals around this world. As soon as he got the oil blocks, the president brother joined his company. A BBC report says in 40 years, this man will be receiving in excess of 12 billion US dollars. And the nation ain't getting 12 single cents. Compare that to Guyana. President Ramotar signed away 2 oil blocks, the Kanchi and Kaieteur, that worth billions of American dollars to people who were broke and have no experience whatsoever in the industry. And what he said, he did not read this contract. He relied on Robert Prasad's advice. At the time, Robert was the Natural Resources Minister. You hear that, guys? When Robert Prasad was contacted, he said he didn't sign the contract. He never know or ever meet the people, them. All he did, all he know, was the lawyers who signed on behalf of the people who collected the oil blocks. When we questioned him to identify the lawyers, he said he can't remember them. Wow. Wow. He went on further to say how he acted as a bridge between GGMC and the Ramotar. And guess what, Guyana? The same Robert Prasad is sitting as the gatekeeper for all our foreign investors that is coming in presently now. You really believe he remember Bai Shanlin or Umai if they were ever in Guyana? Wow. Alzheimer is a terrible thing. Guyanese, what is going on in this land? What is really going on in this land with our leaders and our oil? Exxon announced in 2015 massive oil find. in 2020, we're being handed a bill for almost 20 billion American dollars. A bill in which none of us had any say. And that bill, Guyana has to foot. No word from the PPP, no word from the PNC, no word from the AFC. What is happening in this land? It's like having a business with a partner, and the man just keep handing you bills, and bills, and bills, and you have to pay that. What a moron can we be? How much more can we get? Where are we going?
Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's Tuesday, August 17th, and this is the National Outlook. I'm GHK Lal. Vaccines. We have been having some trouble with that recently. As you know, I have had the vaccine. My wife has had the vaccine. We went very early. I encourage people to have vaccines. I have some misgivings about them. I have some uncertainty, but I've long past those. I've had both shots. She's had both shots. So I say I recommend personally, and I have no standing, as I like to remind people, I recommend to you, my fellow Guyanese, my brothers and sisters, get vaccinated. Now, the government is taking an increasingly draconian, let me use a simpler word, it's taking a tougher approach. As we know, no masks before, you can't come in here. No vaccines now, no proof of vaccination, and don't bother going to a public office. The latest one I saw on Sunday, I think, was that you can't go into an NIS office without proof of vaccination. This caused a lot of trouble, or some brewing trouble in Linden, where a bridge was blocked, because people are fearful. I'm not going to go whether things are politicized or whatever, but I'm saying people are legitimately fearful, and they have trouble coming to grips that they need to keep safe. They need to be certain. We're not absolutely certain. There's no pill, no remedy that comes with absolute certainty. But I know a lot of young people who've gotten the vaccine, a lot of older people, and I'm glad that I've had a hand in encouraging some in my church and in elsewhere, some relatives, the few that I have here, to get vaccinated. So I encourage you to get vaccinated, but we have a 2-week moratorium, a 2-week suspension of the vaccines for one or other reasons, public office, hospitals, etc. I think that's taking things very, very far, when patients can't go unless they can prove they're vaccinated. I don't agree with that. As to healthcare workers, I certainly agree with that. As to policemen and others, yes, they should. Yes, they must. But teachers also. But we're spreading the net wider here. So let's be careful. But I think citizens can take the first step, and I think it's the only step that we have available to us. Get vaccinated. Do so early. There are doses available. There are first and second shots and whatever else is involved. I'm already looking forward, and I don't like needles as much as anybody else, as the next person. They're talking about booster shots. So these things are tumbling, cascading one after the other, on the heels of each other. So I say to you, line up, get vaccinated, get your card, and be able to go about your business more freely. It's sensible, it's reasonable, it's safe. It safeguards you, it safeguards your family and your friends and those you come into contact with. Here, Listen to this. It's the best thing we have right now. It's what we have in addition to our masks and our distancing. It does not heal us or cure us, but it lifts the barrier higher in us. It makes our resistance a little stronger. That's it in layman's terms. Get vaccinated. I'm GHK Lal. This is the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Liberal idea that while colonialism wasn't great, at least Britain gave India the trains. And maybe that's something they should be thankful for. After all, trains are pretty useful, especially in the 7th largest country on Earth. So, colonialism, maybe not all that bad? Unfortunately, Britain also stole $45 trillion from India, all the while exploiting religious divisions between the Hindu and Muslim communities and further turning them against each other. And those beloved railways, they became the sites of mass slaughter while Britain sat back and watched. Empires of Dirt, a show about Europeans getting rich at the expense of everyone else. Britain first got involved in India through the East India Company, which had its headquarters right here on Leadenhall Street. A private company owned by London stockholders, the East India Company grew over the next 300 years to become a quasi-governmental body with its own army and laws responsible for trading spices, cotton, silk and tea all over the world. By 1858, ownership of the East India Company had been transferred to Queen Victoria after the failed Indian Rebellion. Trains were the brainchild of British engineers. The East India Company would use railways to transport exploited resources like cotton and coal more efficiently around India. And it worked. Between 1853 and 1924, a railway network was created to help Britain extract from India relentlessly. And it's not like we gave India the railways either, by the way. We made India pay for them, and we ripped them off in the process. Despite Indian mechanics having their own efficient, cheap designs, Britain made India buy trains from them. Between 1854 and 1947, over 14,000 locomotives were imported from the UK to India. Initially, Indians weren't even allowed to work on the trains. They were staffed entirely by white people, from the board directors to the ticket collectors. The railways made little profit, but British shareholders who invested in its construction made vast returns, guaranteed at the expense of Indian taxpayers who had to pay for it. India's railways were basically like someone burgling your house, building a ramp to wheel all your stuff out, sending you a bill for that ramp, and expecting a round of applause at the end of it. Now that the railways were built, Britain could get down to the task at hand, squeezing India for every last ounce of profit. They were really good at it. In the 1600s, when the East India Company was established, Britain accounted for less than 2% of the world's GDP, while India accounted for almost a quarter of it. By the 18th century, Britain had become one of the most powerful empires in the world, while the prosperity of the Mughal Empire was fading fast. Britain relentlessly squeezed India for every last bit of resource for its own uses. In 1943, up to 4 million Bengalis starved to death, partly because their food was diverted towards British soldiers during World War II. Winston Churchill said the famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits. After it was no longer profitable to remain in India, and after receiving huge pressure from the Indian independence movement, the British finally left in 1947.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
I must now moved on to 19 hours 20 in Guyana. Coming up next, last evening's edition of the Glenelg Show. Tell it as it is. Remember, if you've missed any of these broadcasts, there is a full playlist of these videos and extra short presentation from Glenelg right on our YouTube channel at Kaieteur Radio. Do stay tuned.
plan to say anything tonight, Miss Harris, but I have to say something that is very important, and I'm only talking to you and Josh.
Listening.
So please listen to me.
Yeah, we're full of
Right. Matthews Ridge. Matthews Ridge have about 1,000 residents, and they were planning a protest for the last couple days, but they are not getting through with the approval to carry out this protest. They are sick, tired, and fed up with what is going on in their own country with the Chinese. Bosai is a Chinese-owned company run and controlled by Chinese. They have been here donkey years now. They're getting free oil, free gas, free diesel to fetch out with bauxite. And what are we getting from it, Miss Harris? Do you know? Nothing. Right. Basically, we leaders paying them for thief we wealth, our resources. You got another one named Rusal. Same thing. Everybody fetching out while, Miss Harris, you and Joshua alone sleeping. Well, listen to this one. Bosai set up another branch in Matthews Ridge. But this one got a new name. They call it GMI. That's what they call it. Guyanese Manganese Inc. They come here for our manganese, so they say. For those of you who don't know where Matthews Ridge is, it's in Region 1, the Barima, Waini area. Them digging out your gold, your manganese, uranium, lithium, and precious, all we precious natural resources. They can lay their eyes on or their hands. Manganese, just in case you don't remember or you don't know, let us use it in layman terms to basically clean steel. Then is also use it to make stronger rubber. You know, tractor rubber? Them tractor, yes, things like that. Yeah, them big heavy duty tires. You need strong rubber. It is used in glass making. They use it for fertilizers, for making ceramics, making batteries. You know that? They use the manganese to make batteries. They use it in paint and a whole lot more stuff. Any grade of this thing, the Chinese got uses for, and it fetches a very nice price, a beautiful price. Is what Guyana getting out of it, Josh? You know? Nothing. Josh, uranium is used to generate electricity in nuclear plants. You hear that? That is what then was used to generate electricity in some countries like the US, North Korea, Iran, and other well-developed countries like China. China is ranked the third in the world in nuclear power capacity and electricity generation. China. You hear me, Josh? Yep. Yeah, man. Uranium is the thing these people use to power them country. Is what people in Matthews Ridge, what them people get in there, Miss Harris, you know?
Nothing.
Guyana getting anything from it?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Stress and headache.
But it going out. I don't know if it's going out by the plane load or by the boat loads, but it's going out. Mhm. Lithium. The Chinese has used it for medical purposes, and it is also used in a variety of different electronics, like making them circuit boards, what are in them computers. And there's also make batteries with it. Where you getting from it, Josh? Nothing. Nah, man, you should ask Mr. Harmon and Mr. Jagdeo. You should ask them what I'm getting for the Guyanese people. Or maybe what they're getting for themselves. You just got to ask. Nothing wrong in asking. Because they are our leaders. Yeah, man. They're supposed to be. Yeah, man. The residents, when you talk to them, you can hear in their voices how fed up they are. Those people can't even buy a loaf of bread to eat when the day come. Yeah. That's how poor they are in Matthews Ridge. And they're fed up watching these Chinese fetching their wealth away. What belonged to them, me and you too, Josh. Yep. They're fetching out gold. They're fetching out the manganese, the uranium, lithium, and any goddamn thing they can see or put on. Man, these people even thieving them people crops, what them growing for eat. You hear that? 3 different farmers told us. And what these sheepers, these sleepers for leaders doing about it? Nothing. Can somebody tell me? Nothing. None of you can tell me anything? Nothing. Remember, I'm still not speaking to Guyana, you know. Yeah. Josh, you should ask the minister if he knows that these people are already producing manganese, lithium and uranium, plus the most important thing, gold. I haven't seen anything in the press, and certainly none of these sleepers been in there to see what's going on with our wealth there. Yeah. Me, I hear nothing, and I didn't see anything. And I like to see, and I like to know these things. Hear this one, Miss Harris. They promised in 2016 when I first come here to hire 300, at least 300 Guyanese. Wow. They haven't even got 20 working there. But you know what I have, Josh? Over 200 Chinese, wow, instead of Guyanese, working there. And a few locals. They got a few locals. Yes, what I give the handyman. What I make handyman, guardman, and cleaners. They didn't even give them a proper contract, Josh. I am told that the Chinese give the cleaners and them same handymen and women 6 months contract. Wow. I wonder if Trotman give them a 6-month contract for coming Guyana here. Make them giving we brothers and sisters 6-month contract for work with them company. Miss Harris? 6 months. You know who signed the contract, Josh? The same man was signing the oil contract, Raphael Trotman. Yep. He was the minister at the time, and I am pretty certain that he would have said he was instructed and directed to sign the contract too. I am pretty much certain he would want to tell us that. The same way how he said he was instructed and directed to sign the Exxon contract. Josh, these people were given over 45,000 acres of land. I wonder how much they pay for it. 45,000 acres. What Guyana get for them land? Or they paying the same $1,000 acre?
Probably.
Josh, do you have a house lot?
No.
Or you get one?
No.
You think you can get a couple thousand acre in the interior? Hmm?
No.
But foreigners can come and get how much they want. 45,000. In some cases, some of the gold, Omai and Aurora gold mine and Troy resources, those people have by the hectares. They're not by the acres.
Wow.
Find out from the gold board if any gold are going to ever sell, or if they collect any royalty whatsoever so far from that Guyanese manganese company what both sides set out there. A Canadian company named Reunion Manganese was the owner, and them had the license. Them was the first owner for that license for the manganese, and them turn around and sell it to the Chinese. And of course, Trotman had to approve that deal. You see, I'm telling you, foreigners that come here, get rich land, do what they want, them sell it whenever and however they want. It's the same thing the Canadian company did when they sold Aurora gold mines to the Chinese. Was that deal, the Aurora gold deal was $317 million US dollars. A Chinese company named Xinjiang bought that mine, that gold mine, from Aurora gold mine. So you understand? You understand what's going on here? They come, they get, then them sell, and it's a set. You follow the trend. Who they're selling it to? The Chinese. Can you tell me what galang in this country? We don't even know. With me, and by wealth there, what's it there? All the foreigners just fetching out every single thing they can put hands on, and we sleepers we have here for leaders still sleeping. Miss Harris, you have to see what is going on in there with all those heavy duty machinery and equipment them using. You got to see what them doing in the entire neighborhood. The roads what they done broke up. Mr. Josh, the road that they done broke up there, you tax money. The public servants' taxes got to use back to fix those roads, what them damaging. You have photos? You should show them some photos. Let them see those photos. You got to see the drainage, Josh. What deplorable state it is in. It's so bad that when the rain falls, it's massive flooding. It's feet upon feet of water, flooding out the entire roads. You know when a road underwater, what happens? It sucks away the strength underneath the foundation of the road. Yeah. It collapses overnight. Exactly. That is what they're doing there. They're blocking people from from one end to the other end, from Port Kaieteur to Matthews Ridge and back. That's what the road's doing. The residents complain how they're blocking off sections of the local water supply to get more water for their operations. You hear me, Josh? Is you alone talking to? No, you and Miss Harris. I'm not speaking to anybody else. Everything is for them and them pockets alone. Just now, you're going to hear a big contract from our government, from our tax dollars. Yes, me and you money, Josh, to fix Matthews Ridge roadways again. Man, you got to go for see the bridges that they claim they fix. All of them falling apart already. Them damage it, them said they fix it, and all falling apart already. I am told the people making them own road to the airport now, Josh.
Wow.
Them even go so far to block off we road for make them road. Man, one, two things going on in this country. Man, I don't know how Guyanese can sit down and take all these things. Josh,
Yeah.
they make a city within our city. This is Guyana, eh?
Beautiful Guyana.
This is Guyana, beautiful Guyana. Josh, by the time you reach me age, you're going to be eating that thing that has fall from near the donkey tail. Nothing will be left for you guys. The parent company, Bosai, is the same thing them doing in Linden. The other day, the EPA even had to fine them after they were found guilty of causing the massive flood they had. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing they're doing in Matthews Ridge now. When they block off these reservoirs and barely dig the little drains, the water flood up the whole entire place. Sometimes you got water up to 4 or 5 feet, I am told. They do all these things, and the leaders who are supposed to be looking out for the residents' interests, man, you got to be them there in bed with these people. Miss Harris, I am told that one of the counselor, the NDC counselor, working directly with them. So basically, them got it locked. Your own local people working for them, who's supposed to be representing the residents of Matthews Ridge, working for them. That's how selfish and greedy they are. Only for their pocket they're looking out for. And in turn, selling out their brothers and sisters. These are the type of leaders we have in this country. This mentality begins at the top, you know, Miss Harris. Yeah, man, that's the mentality. It starts at the top. You know, they're going to say, well, monkey see, monkey this do. That's exactly what's going on here. It's a culture being cultivated all over this land. Like I said, it starts at the top. And when the top do, everybody do. They're bullying all the people there in Matthews Ridge. They are now building their own wharf. So right now, they are stockpiling the manganese. The people say they have about 20 trucks running Heavy duty trucks running all the time on the road. Them done dig up so much of manganese that they're stockpiling it at different locations. So apparently when they're done build the wharf, then they will start shipping out. Yeah, they're shipping out, and they will be collecting. You remember the two words, Dora Dora?
Yeah.
You gonna get Dora Dora too from it. Mm-hmm. The Matthews rich people gonna get Dora Dora from it too. Oh my gosh. When you hear stories like this, it just upset you so much, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much manganese them got in Matthews Ridge? You got an idea? They have over 26 million tons. Josh, when I checked the money, it's 117 million US dollar in raw materials alone. When them done refine that manganese, they will be making 30 times that 117 million. And me and talk about the gold, what they're shipping out, you know. Them going to take out that in the trillions. And we will never know. Because, remember, the contract say manganese they come here for. They don't come for gold. You remember the name, Josh? Guyanese Manganese Inc. Mm-hmm. They might ink you every day in this country. Mm-hmm. And you'd never know nothing what they're doing.
Sure.
Not a single thing you know what any one of these foreign companies doing in this country.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then this is the foreign investors, Josh.
Yep.
Where your government, your leaders, like Jack David Harmon, that said they come for Bill Guyana. Not Brockett, you know. Them foreign investors just come for Bill Guyana. They're building Matthews Ridge there now. The bullying part, I hear they're bullying the workers like yesterday. Mm-hmm. They're them same couple of workers they have. That has worked them from sun up to sundown and don't pay any overtime. That's what they do. And on top of that, guess what they do? They give them $1,000 for 3 meals. Oh my, $1,000 for 3 meals. And then they put that money in the salary, which has to be taxed.
Wow.
Josh, you want to hear how much for a loaf of bread in there?
Yes, please.
$1,200.
What?
So the $1,000 what they're giving can't even buy a proper meal for them. Mm-hmm. You think a Guyanese can go anyway in them country and do the things what these people doing to us?
No.
You think Guyanese can go in China and do the things what them doing in this land, man?
Never.
Hmm? Miss Harris, every one of them that comes here, all of them come here with a fancy proposal telling us how they come for one thing. And when you do find out, they're fetching out your gold, your diamond, your bauxite, and every single piece of your natural resources. Mm-hmm. They said they come from manganese and I'm going to fetch out your gold right now. That area, the gold and diamond, that area, the Matthews Ridge area, the gold and diamond digging has no Guyanese. You hear that? Where in Matthews Ridge they're working, the gold have no Guyanese.
Wow.
Where they're working the gold is only the Chinese.
Wow.
And all that is being done in secret.
So we should rename the village.
You see? They should be kicked out of the village. They should have been thrown out of this country.
Yeah.
You come here for one thing and doing 10 other things.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting tired.
So am I.
I am told by Shanlin they all over.
Oh, wow.
You wait, man. You think Bai Shanlin left this place?
Well, I would like to think so.
Bai Shanlin was just ducking low under the coalition, bro. I am told that they changed names and working in the Kayuni area, fetching out our gold by the tons. What you getting? What you getting?
Nothing.
Nothing. Your gold disappearing, your bauxite, your manganese, your timber, and now your coconut oil. Going to build skyscrapers and highways in their country, leaving us to fix the infrastructures, them destroy, them damage. Isn't this a beautiful country, man?
Yeah.
I love this land. I ain't leaving this land to go nowhere. Every foreign company that is here and coming here are here to exploit you. They have been doing it from day one. From day one, they have been doing it. And they have been doing it to all corrupt countries with corrupt leaders. Yeah, and they're here. But we have nice leaders. I think so. They're good looking. They're very good looking. My man, don't do that. Trotman's a good looking man. Mr. Jagdev is a handsome man. Huh? Josh, Africa is worse.
Yeah.
And Guyana, in my eyes, is Africa too.
Yep.
Nobody learning anything. Not a thing anybody learning. Especially these sheepers we have for leaders. I am posting a link for the Facebook and YouTube listeners. Josh, please,
Yes.
please click that, send them. Just click on it, guys. And listen to it carefully. It's an African ambassador. Her name is Arikana Chiamburi Kiwao. Just listen to her. Could you play that video, Josh?
Yes.
Play it for them. Let her listen to her.
How do you put China in the same boxing ring with Eswatini? Eswatini has 1.2 million people. China has 1.4 billion people. And you put them on the same stage and say, go at it, negotiate. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is insanity of the highest order. How have we allowed this carnage to go on? When Eswatini is thrown in the same boxing ring with China and Eswatini collapses before Eswatini even gets on the stage, the world says, well, Eswatini, what's wrong with you? Why can't you take care of your people? Well, China came in and said, Eswatini, give me all your gold or else. And if Eswatini does not agree, they just go on next door to Lesotho and give Lesotho an extra $1. And if Lesotho doesn't take it, they just jump on to Togo, Central African Republic. It was all by design. Until Africa comes together as a continent speaking with one voice, one continent, one people, nothing, and I repeat, nothing is gonna change. As individual little African countries, we are wannabe boxers. We will never make it fighting against the heavyweights. We must speak with one voice. Yeah. And this is exactly what our Pan-African leaders wanted to see happen in 1963 when they came together in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. They clearly stated that Africa for the Africans at home and abroad, and that African Union was now. They said Africa must speak with one voice. It is the only way for Africa to take its rightful place on the world stage. Sadly, when they went to Addis Ababa in 1963, they were divided. We had two factions, the Casablanca group and the Monrovia group. The Casablanca group were saying Africa for the Africans at home and abroad, and African Union now. This was Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. Only 7. The other 25 of the 32 who attended were the Monrovia group. They were the nationalists. They said, let's go slow. Let's kind of wait on this Pan-African thing. 55 years later, 56 this year, we're still going slow. They don't do coups anymore. They simply create instability. So when you hear of an instability in an African country, ask yourself, what is really going on? Because what they are telling you is really going on is just a shiny object. The real issue is over here. And you need to stop before you start being used as an instrument of your own self-destruction.
Josh, you hear her? I love that lady.
Yes.
You got to see the video. You got to watch her action, her expression when she's speaking. Speak with one voice. Speak with one voice. Come together. Division. You hear how the woman's strong on division? Mm-hmm. The lady said, how do you put China in the same boxing ring with Africa? And now Guyana. Guyana is going on in the boxing ring. The lady said, how can you pit 1.2 million people against 1.4 billion people to fight, to negotiate? She really mean not to fight. The lady said, are you with me? Josh, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Man, I tell you, I love the lady. She said, it is insanity of the highest order. How are we allowing this carnage to go on? The lady asked. You hear what these Chinese companies doing in that lady's country, Josh? You hear it? Carnage. They're eating up everything and anything they can put hands on. We sit and ask ourselves, why we country not moving forward? I went to Borbies yesterday, and 2-3 people tell me the exact thing. Glenlal, why our country not moving forward? The man said, 50 years now, and this country has not moved an inch. These are the kind of things why we can't move an inch. Our leaders not negotiating. Our leaders are looking out for their own pockets. The lady talking about she country, Josh? Yeah. Is she country she talking about? Or she talking about Guyana?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
You see anything different? No, nothing. The lady said, until Africa comes together and as a continent, speaking with one voice, as one people, nothing is going to change. You hear me? I am talking to you and Miss Harris only, you know. I am not speaking to Guyana. The lady said, unless we speak with one voice,